I'm your friend Jaswant Pathak. Today we will discuss about role of women in India. So basically, women in India played a significant role in social, economic, and political development of the country. How has the role and status of women in India evolved over time? So first of all, we will discuss about the role and status of women in India. The role and status of women in India's history have been complex and varied. Historically, the Indian society has been patriarchal, with men holding more power and status than women. I think my voice is audible. So, can you please comment if I'm audible proper? Yes, yes, I'm audible. Okay, so good. Yes, the role and status of women in India's history have been complex and varied. Historically, the Indian society has been patriarchal, with men holding more power and status than women. During the Indus Valley civilization and the Vedic period, women enjoyed equal status in society. They participated politically by attending Sabha and Samiti. Some significant female figures of the Vedic period are Ghosha, Lomamudra, Sulabha, Maitreyi, and Gargi. The status of women began to decline in the later Vedic period, and many social restrictions were placed upon them. There was evidence of sati during the Gupta period. During medieval times, the social status of women, both in Hindu and Muslims communities, was very low. Females belonging to the nobility observed purdah and were rarely allowed to go outside the house. The custom of sati has become more common. With the rise of social reforms movement, there was an improvement in the status of women in Indian society during British rule. With the efforts of reforms, sati was abolished in 1829 and the Widow Remarriage Act was passed in 1856. Women participated in the Indian anti imperialist struggle in large numbers through important movements. So, now we will discuss about what is the role of women in Indian society in general. In traditional Indian society, the social role of women has been primarily as a wife and mothers. In recent years, there has been a shift in the social role of women in India. First one is family. Women are the key to sustainable development and quality of life in the family. Various roles women assume in family are those of wife, leader, administrator, manager of family income, and most importantly, the mother. Second one is education. Women play a key role in education children. The development of future generation depends upon women. According to an annual status of education report, ASER report, the education levels of a mother have a strong correlation with the holistic development of children. So basically, this lecture is very important for UPSC exam, NDA exam, CDS exam, and interviews. Your interviews, is very. And if you want to know about general knowledge, this is very, very, very important for the kind of information. So next is health and public sector. Women are responsible for 70 to 80% of all the healthcare provided in India. Female healthcare providers can be important in educating society to recognize their health and nutrition needs. Women professionals and the empowerment of women at all levels are required for the improvement of the health and nutrition status in India. Next one is food so security. Women are essential contribution to all four aspects of food security, including availability, access, utilization, and stability. They serve as producers, farmers, and entrepreneurs, as well as gatekeepers who make critical decisions and invest time and income to ensure the food and nutrition security of their household and communities. So this is the role of women in India. And next one is, what is the role of women in Indian politics? The political role of women in India has been complex and evolving. Historically, women in India have been underrepresented in politics with a low percentage of women in position of power. Women's political participation is a fundamental prerequisite for gender equality and genuine democracy. There is also strong evidence that as more women are elected as to office, there is so corollary increase in policy making that emphasize quality of life and reflects the priorities of families, women, and ethnic and racial minorities. The three main parameters to assess the state of women participation in politics in India are women voter turnout, women's candidate elections, and women representation in political offices. The female voter turnout in the Lok Sabha election has increased from 46.6% in 1962 to 66.9% in 2019, which indicates their increasing role in politics. Also, the number of female representatives in the Lok Sabha increased from 5% in 1951 to 14% in 2019. Representation of women leaders at the grassroots level in India is nearly 50%, especially since the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment 1992, which allotted one third of all seats to women. This is very big change of the Indian history. Next one, we will discuss about what is the role of women in India's economic growth story. So first, the economic role of women in India years, there has been a growing recognition of the important role that women play in Indian economy. The present contribution of women to the national GDP is around 18%. In India, women comprise 48% of the agricultural workforce and own only 13% of the land. Women in India constitute around 20% of the manufacturing workforce and around 30% of the total workforce in the service sector. At present, there are 432 million women of working age in India, out of which 343 million are employed in the unorganized sector. India has the third largest ecosystem in terms of startups in the world, and 10% of them have been led by women founders. Also, research shows that ventures started by women are more sustainable in nature. In 2022, a survey among 250 Indian companies revealed that the share of women in the chief executive officer or managing director roles has increased by 55%, which reflected significant growth in their role in driving the economy. Next, we will discuss about the role of women in environmental conservation and sustainable development. In India, women are traditionally played a significant role in environmental conservation and management, particularly in rural communities where then often rely on nature resources for their livelihoods and well-being. In most developing countries like India, women play a major role as farmers, animal rearers, and water and fuel collectors. Various environmental movements like the Bishnoi movement, Chipko movement, Epico movement, Silent Valley movement, and Narmada Bachao Andolan are the significant environmental movements of the India that reflect the integral leadership of women. The government of India has adopted various policies and programs such as the Joint Forest Management Program of the 1990s mandated that women comprise 33% of the membership in the management committees. Today, there is growing emphasis on mainstreaming women's role in the planning, implementing, and monitoring of all sustainable development and environmental management programs. What measures could help enhance the role of women? Improving access to education by increasing access to quality education for girls, as well as education and training programs that help women to develop the skills they need to participate in the workforce. Providing support services such as affordable child care, health care, and transportation can help women to balance the demands of work and family life. Encouraging women's participation in leadership roles, initiative to promote women's leadership in politics, business, and other fields, as well as mentoring and networking programs that help women to develop the skills and connection they need to succeed. This is the role of women in India. This is the role of women in India. This is very important topic. This is very important phenomena of the word woman security. So please, this lecture today we will end. Support me, subscribe, and thank you. Bye bye. Have a good night. Take care.